good evening, and welcome to another segment of the New Black Leadership Coalition here live on CAN Television. The New Black Leadership Coalition. The call-in number 312-738-1060. Call-in number 312-738-1060. My name is Gregory Sane, one of the members of the New Black Leadership and co-founders of the New Black Leadership, proud member of the New Black Leadership. I am so thankful, I am so blessed and so grateful to have this opportunity once again to come to you all live here in the studio, as well as over on Facebook Live and YouTube and all of the streaming as it relates to the internet. This is truly a blessing. We were scheduled to have a guest this evening, but we had to reschedule our guest, Brother Enoch Muhammad, who will be here next week. But I want to say this, that we are thankful for brothers like Brother Enoch and Brother Obadeli, Brother Chairman Fred Hampton Jr., we're thankful for Brother Lance Williams, Professor Dr. Lance Williams, Dr. Kim Delaney. We're thankful for Minister Michael Muhammad. We're thankful for Brother David Peterson. We're thankful for Brother Roe Davis, Reven Fellas. We're thankful for Brother Johnny Muhammad. We're thankful for Brother Sam Muhammad. I know I probably forgot somebody, but we're thankful for all of the members of the New Black Leadership who are part of other organizations but believe in this particular movement, this particular project, this particular effort to fix some of the things that we know are fixable in our community and in the city of Chicago, the state, and around the world, international, but it's really about our unity. So I am very, very, very honored to say that we believe that at the end of the day, we have, as I spoke with Brother Reven Fellows yesterday, while on our show on Monday nights at 7 o'clock in the studios of Intellectual Radio, I said last night, and I'll say it again, we have all of the agendas we need. We have all of the information we need. We have all of the books that we need. But what we don't have, and what seems to be the greatest struggle for us as a people and community, is that we won't unify. And I know that word seems to be so just not acknowledged to the degree of action. So, but we won't unify. But all around us, we see death and destruction. And look, you could forget about, and this is not about Donald Trump, this is not about Governor Rauner, this is not about the city of Chicago elected officials. This is not about any of them. But when you look at the landscape and you realize the skills, the gifts, the talents, and abilities that we have, yet we complain about a quickly falling, rapidly falling society. I mean, it really has failed, but what we see is fake optics. You know, we see distractions from what really is going on. And I mean, we are distracted from the mass media, and we are distracted from those who, they don't really have any power at all, but they have come among our people masquerading as leaders. That's why we need new black leadership, but masquerading as leadership, masquerading as activists, masquerading as organizers. But I was reading a post, and I won't dignify the post, and I definitely won't mention these folks' names, but I was reading one, and all I can say about this particular post is birds of a feather flock together. Birds of a feather flock together. And what I mean by that is, if you don't understand that, you could be mentored by those individuals that all of a sudden you aligning yourself with them as though you're doing something so magnificent, when in fact you're afraid to come around those that have integrity. You rather go back around those that really are suspect. Because when you look at the condition of our people, and I'm saying this loud and clear to all of you all that are running around and playing games, when we need men and women, not only this coalition, not only in this coalition, but whatever, you could do your own thing, but have integrity. Have integrity. And no, none of us are perfect. None of us are faultless. None of us are sinless. But damn, we should be striving to be better. And so I'm saying that because, I'm not going to get into the whole piece, but I read yesterday during our show yesterday, during that show, I read our core values. And our core values, I am just so thankful that is the values of the new black leadership. We believe that sound spiritual and cultural morality serves as the basis of integrity and character. That's why I said what I said just a couple of minutes ago. We believe the core values of our African Asiatic ancestors must be measured and standard of values within the black community. We further believe that all leadership, that means everybody, must be held accountable to these values and principles. What do I mean by that? Do Donald Trump have these values and principles? Do some of the so-called leaders in our community or activists, organizers have these values? Some of them don't. So you can't be a spokesperson. You can't be a leader. You cannot claim to be a mentor. You cannot. You can do what you like, but you'll never be successful because it's all deception. If you're not wrapped and clothed in these values, these core values, we further believe again that all leadership must be held accountable to these values and principles. We espouse the natural and divine responsibility of black men and women within a traditional family structure. We further believe that we must resist the weakening of these rights by the dominant society. So if you just a pop-up and you just showing up just to get a couple of crumbs or to get a few likes on Facebook, but share this. If you're on Facebook right now, please share this conversation right here because, the way I'm feeling is, all of us should feel this way, that we are sick and tired of being sick and tired. And that's why the efforts of the new black leadership is very critical. It's very serious. And it's really an urgency. It is an urgency that we settle our differences, but yet, not only do we settle our differences, but we have to come to grips with that sometimes you don't have to be the person out front. if you really believe in the struggle, if you believe in making things better, then you'll be a soldier, and then you'll unite with those who believe in that united front. That's what we standing on. 312-738-1060. The New Black Leadership is a community-based coalition. Community-based. So all our members have their own domain, their own lane. They're doing great things, etc. But they have enough love, enough sense, enough wisdom to realize that we cannot individually win this battle unless we form a viable coalition. And that's why we say we are interested in viable, untapped, viable new leaders that will make a difference in our community. We are after the new leaders, tapping you, but you know, it's one of those things, people have been born to do work. Some people, they gonna go to a job from 9 to 5, etc., and they cool with that. And some of them, they give contributions, tithings to the church, to the mosque, to the synagogue, to the cathedral, to the temple, to the Kingdom Hall. That's fine. That's the lane you want to be in. But then there's some of us who have decided to put our life on the line, to sacrifice what it is that we believe in strongly. And that's why, you know, this is not a easy task. That's why we struggle, and we have to come on to keep preaching, to keep inspiring, to keep trying to motivate, because we realize that Satan is busy. I mean, Satan is busy 24/7. And we don't see how that particular spirit has interwoven itself into the movement. I see we have a caller. I'm going to take the call. Go ahead. I'll take the call right now. Good evening, caller. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you doing?
Oh, man. It's the same fight, just a different round. Stick and move, bob and weave. And Muhammad Ali, when he got on the ropes, that was a strategy. So, hey, man, there's a battle out here. But you know what? You can't give up. So what's on your mind?
Oh, man, I was just sitting here, man, listening to your program and just really, really taking a lot of things that you were saying in heed. You know, I've been the type of person that's kind of been reaching out for the community for ever since I was a youth, man. It was kind of in my heart, and I know it takes certain leadership for people to really make a difference, man. And I think it's all about solutions. We heard the problems, we know the issues, we heard so much about what our people have been through for our struggles. So now I just want to be around a solution-based coalition, all about solutions.
I love it.
We know the problems. But
I love it.
I think a lot of times people aren't in those positions to, be a voice. I think the people that, are on the ground or on the grind, we really understand it. And sometimes we got to be that voice, Those at the top don't always quite understand. They don't, whether they understand or they don't want to, really speak on it. It might be the case. But I like what you're talking about.
No, but I love what you just said. You said those that are on the top. And sometimes you have to wonder, how did they get on the so-called top? Who put them on the top? You know what I mean? But then let's go back to the ground game, because that's the game that we really have to win, the ground game. And you said it right, brother. We need individuals like you that I could hear it in your voice. And you said solutions, right?
That's it, man. That's it.
Now think about the word solution. And when we go to the doctor and say, I have a solution for that. And believe me, if we don't apply the solutions, we stay in pain or whatever it is that's ailing us, bothering us. If we don't apply that solution, then we stay in the same condition.
That's it.
And so, but that means that when the doctor come into the room, we have to change our behavior. We have to change our action. We have to do something different in order to feel better, in order to heal, in order to make progress. Right or wrong?
Oh, you're absolutely right. Can I run something by you? I mean, I'm
Yes,
not.
sir. Go ahead.
I'm just happy to have this opportunity to just say a few words, but I will say this. Um, looking into a lot of things, like far as a lot of things that's going on, it's like we have to more so just kind of take it upon ourselves. Easier said than done. I get that, but it got to be bigger than us. My motto is it's bigger than me.
That's right.
I keep that mindset. So once I establish that mindset, then now it becomes a part of me. But one of the things that I really want to come up with, one of the things I had in mind, and I've had in mind for quite some time, is like a lot of things going on with our youth, as far as being incarcerated, and all this violence and murders and so forth and so on. And I look at this, I said, wow, after generations and decades and decades and decades and decades of violence and incarceration, it's affected so many people on so many levels. I mean,
Yeah.
not just those who are
Yeah.
involved, but those around us, the kids, the grandparents, everybody's affected by these actions.
Absolutely.
And my thing was, I'm trying to figure out a way to where we can introduce a whole new curriculum, so to speak, at CPS or schools in general. We have to teach our youth how to think, not what to think. We can set programs to where they can understand. See, it's one thing to say, okay, go to school, stay off drugs, stop the violence.
Right.
Yeah, that's cool.
Right.
But we have to get them to learn how to do that. We can't just say, we can march and yeah, we can do that, but we have to come up with programs that challenge them.
Well, you know what?
Put them in situations where, as they move forward, and I know their household, I know it starts at home, I get that, but we can't give up on those.
But it takes a village, bro. You are a voice in the village. I do not claim, and anybody that claims that they learned everything in their household from mom and dad are not realistic. It takes individuals like you and others out there, each one teach one. I got another call on me. Man, I love your spirit. I'm going to put up our website in a minute, and I want you to get a hold of us. Contact us, because I would love for you to be at our next leadership roundtable quarterly meeting. So I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you, brother. We got another call on?
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, sir. How you feel?
Well, here's the thing. I'm going to key in on the word realistic. Now, in the month of July, 31 days, we had 410 people get shot. Now, the thing about it is, this has been going on for 40 years. Now, there's nothing we can do, people that are outside of law enforcement. Now, we know this weekend coming up. Can you hear me?
Keep talking. I want them to turn that up if they can. If they have a way that they can turn it. But go ahead. I'm sorry for interrupting you.
No problem. Now, we know this weekend there's going to be people riding around in cars shooting 30 to 40 people. Why can't law enforcement flood the two areas of this city, two of the most dangerous areas in the world, by the way, and stop every car, every bike, every dog, walker, and check them for guns? Now, we know that in 30 or 40 years, this could be contained, this could be eradicated, but it hasn't, because the will isn't there. So, I hate to be, I don't believe I'm negative. I'm more of a clarion caller. And I'm saying that until the forces that be rolling here like they did when it was the G8, then black and brown people are going to continue to live in war zones and bullets flying in our homes, kids shot, grandparents murdered. I mean, we're living in hell on earth, my brother.
Yes, sir. Well, let me just respond to you and thank you for your call.
All right.
Thank you. I understand about the flooding of more law enforcement in the community, but here's the problem that I have with that. So this is a real interesting, I would say, divine message, divine time that Almighty God has placed us in. Would you believe that it's our time? But in order to understand that and what time dictates is that we have not taken charge of our post. As a intelligent people, we need to police ourselves because you can't police what you don't love, not effectively. So what's missing in all of it is the people who live on the block, you know, the village. That voice is missing in action. Yeah, we go to church. Yeah, there's big mega churches in the community. Yes, we have millionaires. Yes, yes, yes. But we have not unified in a spiritual way, in a political way, in a social way to deal with family matters. So you got to talk to God and say, why is it that God is allowing all of this to take place? And what is our responsibility as a intelligent people that really understand solutions but won't go to work, won't roll up our sleeves? We still fighting each other. And you're right, that the crime is not going to stop. There's this book that, I mean, it talks about a number of things in this book, but it's by an author by the name of Malcolm Gladwell, and it's called The Tipping Point. In that book, The Tipping Point, it really focused on trends and phenomenals and fads and etc. So there was a question in the book about why did the crime in New York, why did it go down? What attributed to that? What were the variables? Did they get more jobs? Did people begin to, talk? Did the church do some things different? Did the mama and the daddy and the family, did they do some things different? Did the police do some things different? Was there a shortage of guns and bullets? Did everybody get a job? Etc. And they could not at all say exactly one specific thing that made the crime go down. Yeah, they did fluctuate the community with more law enforcement. But look at the condition of the people in New York, in Philadelphia, in Baltimore, all over, in Chicago, and you'll see an eroding communities. Our communities are eroding. And that's why I say, look, the new black leadership is so critical. And this is not to replace what we have now that's called leaders. This is to bring folks with like minds who want to get some things done, some work done, that's action oriented, to come and join our coalition. Come and be a part of our Black Leadership Quarterly Roundtables. And you'll hear more information about when our next quarterly roundtable will take place. But, I'll say this in closing. We got about 3-4 minutes left. First of all, I want to thank you all that's viewing. And I want to put up real quick the overhead. I hope it's straight. And it is. That's how you can get in contact with us, Facebook, right there, the New Black Leadership Coalition. So the brother who called in That is one way that you can contact us right there. The New Black Leadership, right underneath. Now, I'm going to say this in closing, that we got all of the answers. We know what the ingredients are. We know what the recipe is. We just won't cook. We've been told over and over what to do. Man, we didn't had Martin. We didn't had Malcolm. We didn't had the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. We have had Harriet Tubman, Nat Turner. We have had so many. We have here now, currently, the Honorable Brother Minister Louis Farrakhan, a voice in the wilderness that's speaking truth to power. But how many of us are tuned in to do the action? And what's the action? Fixing what's wrong with us, with our family, and our community. Stop waiting on a mystery God. Stop waiting on somebody else to do for us what we must do for ourselves. And if the leadership or the current imposters that's claimed to be leadership, if they're not pushing that program, then they are just, I'm not going to say, well, I can say the word pissing in the wind. I could say they just pissing in the wind. One of them old terms from my grandmother. That mean they talking loud and they saying nothing. Yeah, we got a lot of people that are commentaries. They are talk show hosts. They are, editors of newspaper. But we haven't collectively told our story because everybody want to compete. You can't compete with unadulterated, unapologetic truth. You can't compete with this, but you can keep running out there misdirecting our community. And that's the problem. Listen, tomorrow, tune in to the Butt Naked Truth from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. That's 1570 a.m. The Butt Naked Truth, Mr. Harold Davis and company. The Butt Naked Truth. See you next Monday. See you next Tuesday here. Next Monday, Intellectual Radio. Thank you all for tuning in. Love you. And we got to grow. We got to grow. Peace and love.